Hey guys, how's it going today? We're over at my other shop where my hatch is stored at my grandparents'. I just wanted to come over. Buddy's coming down from Halifax to finally pick up the SIR. So this car is super clean. I did an H2b setup in it, rebuilt the motor, H23 with a set of clevet rod bearings, main bearings, got the crank checked out. The car still needs a harness, but it's running. No codes whatsoever. So he had bought this harness before, and the reason why it looks so bad is normally you would have the plug that comes out on this side here. Well, what they did is they extended it under the dash and then made it all go to the same side. So what's going on is the harness is basically hooked up and then it's flipped over in half, and then they both go in to the ECU. So I fixed it all. Everything was wired wrong and everything, but I fixed it all. We got no codes. I told him before he goes for a tune, get a stock harness and then send it to me, and I'll fix you up and make you another harness. So this is basically the same setup that was in my car before. So H23 VTEC, Type S cams. It basically stock motor with bolt-ons. Mine made 208 and 161 to the wheels. So it's got a balancing shaft delete kit. It has the spacer. I made another walk blocker down on the bottom, so we didn't have to get the KS tune kit and weld it on, like JB welded on. So besides that, he had bought the harness from a guy. I think he even bought a ported lower plenum from another guy. So we had kept the lower on it. It was pretty bad, but I fixed it up enough to get it to seal, and we put a new top on. So they were going to run the H23 non-VTEC top. And the problem with that is it's a 3-wire idle air control valve. So either in hondata you delete it so you don't have it, kind of like my car. I don't have an idle air on that. I can show you in a minute. But so what happens is you got to change the top plenum to an OBD1 style, and then you can basically run the 2-wire idle air control valve. This way you can wire it into the system. At the 3-wire, you can't wire it in because it's 3 wires, and the cars were only wired for 2 wires. So it's a real good thing to have. Definitely makes it easier for your tuners and stuff. I mean, mine still idles perfect. I have a good tuner, and I know how to get my way around with the hondata stuff also. So we kind of play around here and there, Pierre-Luc and I. So Pierre-Luc tunes this car. I literally just got finally the deal worked out with KLM, so I have a badass top mount intercooler coming. It's the same top mount that the new Speed Factory 4-door car has. So basically it was down in the front bumper on the Speed Factory car. Now they've switched to a top mount. So I have the exact same one coming for this H series though, obviously H2b. This car is all-wheel drive, and then we're running a Precision 67, 66. It's upgraded billet wheel, just refreshed. And then we're running the 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower KLM intercooler. So we're going to fit that all here. Basically, the turbo is going to be sitting there, backdoored to the intercooler, and then come up over. And we're actually keeping this intake setup. So we're going to make it work. It's going to be badass. This is all ported, 90 mil. We're all ported under here. 4-piston head, darton sleeves, CP pistons, BC rods, Farad valve train. We're also on Skunk 2 Pro 2 cams. So this thing's heavy duty. She's ready to rock. So we're running an FCS fuel tank with 2 044 fuel pumps. You can see them down there. We are keeping the nitrous on it. We're going to put a smaller hit, but it is direct port. And the car is also set up with 10 in and 10 out to the regulator. You can see it there. All-wheel drive trans. So we'll be switching fuel too. I was talking to JF Kelly. We're going to run the same fuel that he's running. And we're going with the K-Tune shift box with the new shift cables for the all-wheel drive. Comes with the plate, the shifter box, the cables, and the mount for the transmission. So yeah, this thing's going to be ready to rock here soon. The all-wheel drive stuff, the car's on a viscous coupler. It has it's a Land Rover viscous that was rebuilt. The drive shaft is double wall tubing with the GM 1310 joints, 1-inch spacers on both sides. It does have it's got 2 2 steady bearings in it. It's kind of hard to tell right now because it's so dark, but you can see the diff sitting there, and the rear mount kit, the trailing arms. So we make these trailing arms in-house. It's a Integra setup with inside hubs, and then we're actually still working out. It's on stock axles right now. The drive shaft's bulletproof. The rear end is pinned and locked, and then we're working out a diff setup right now for it, because with the turbo and the big boost, this thing's gonna need the LSD in the rear, and then we're going insane shafts. So insane shafts makes the 23 spline for the Insight CRV hubs, and then they're hardened axles. They claim you can get something good for 500 and you can get something good for 1,000. So we're working out a deal with them, and yeah, this will be coming on the channel here pretty much as soon as my manifold gets here and whatnot. We're gonna test fit everything. Once it's test fitted, the motor's coming back apart. We're going to re-bearing the whole thing. So the motor runs awesome right now. I just want to do the regular maintenance. So with anything, especially something that I got so much money into this, we're just going to take it apart, do a quick refresh, and then we know we're good to go, right? So it's in anything racing, you're going to have it apart. You're going to have it apart quite a few times. So hopefully that's not the plan. But I mean, if we can do it now before the season starts, before we get boosted, before we get tuned, I just want to make sure it's fresh. So the motor technically probably only has 1,500 kilometers on it anyways. So worst case, we'll pull it apart, check it out. But yeah, boys, we're going to go from there. This is going to be a good year. So 2020 is going to be the year that everything goes down. So if you're watching the channel, you know what I mean? We got Civics, we got the Duramax, we got LS stuff, we got Chad Supra. There's so much stuff that's going to be going on this year, so this is the year. So but yeah, this is Nick's car, so it's got K-tune shifter. The trans, I want to tell you the trans, it's a SIR transmission. So basically this same setup with the same header. This is a high-end header, so I had the same header before I went with my sheepy belt. And we made 208 to the wheels, 161 bone stock H23 VTEC with Type S cam, and then from there bone stock B16 trans, stock axles. My car, it went 1260 at 110 mile an hour, stock setup, and that's when I was on the street every day. Thing was so fun. And then on top of it, I had the direct port 100 shot in it. And you know what I mean, mid to low 11-second car. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys what's going on, because Nick's coming here right now with a truck and trailer. He's super excited. The car's in killer shape, like you can see here. It's just like brand new. It's got the whole lip there. Car is very, very clean. So I was excited to help Nick out on this. He's had some bad luck with it. No shout out to nobody. I think, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you got one name, and you should always, if not do the best work, if you fuck something up, make sure you go back and fix it. Like, it's just a lot of guys, they put all their hard money and time into stuff, and you know what I mean? They pay a guy to do something, and then things go wrong, and it's just it ruins. I don't know. It's hard to say. It ruins the way they look at the car community, the car game. Nova, come here. Come here, baby. Come here, Noah. Come here. Get out of Nick's car. Come on. You crazy girl. I have to vacuum it for him. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, and like I said, like I don't know. Nick's really happy to have this because the motor, someone had gone through it before, and then on startup it was knocking or whatever. He sent me a little video clip, so I just told him bring it down here. I'll make sure the clearances are good on everything. I'll check everything out. We'll make sure the half shaft fits right, because with an H2b car, you can see how tight it is. So you gotta shade the back of the block to fit it, right? This is a PLM kit, basically a QSD kit. Seth is really hard to get a hold of at QSD. He only messages certain people. So I recommend QSD If you can't get QSD, you could go Evo kit, and that way you wouldn't have to cut the hood. This car, the hood does close, but it's because it's cut, and he is missing one bolt here. The Evo kit, you can literally shut the hood without cutting the webbing, but you have oil pan clearance. So if you look here, QSD and PLM, it's hard to see with my camera. I'll flip it sideways. But you can see you have a little bit more oil pan clearance. I mean, this car is dumped, but if it was the Evo kit, this would be about another inch lower. So, you know what I mean? You don't have much room. We've come into it that you beat the oil pan, and these H series, they don't have much room between the pickup and the pan. So once you hit it, basically you'll see the oil gauge drop, and usually it's around 10 psi. So best thing to do in that case, shut it off, get it towed, drop the pan, beat the pan back out, seal the pan back up, do a fresh oil change anyways, clean the VTEC solenoid screen, and send it, you know what I mean? So that's if you catch it in time, right? But yeah, so when the boys get here and we load it up, I'll get another quick video for you guys, and then I'll post this up. Just kind of wanted to show you. Chad and I have been doing a lot of basically everything else type of work, Cummins and all that stuff. So I mean, I love my Hondas, and I think this year is going to be real big for the hatch. So I'm excited to boost it. I always told myself I wouldn't boost it because I was on nitrous guy, but times have changed. It's 2020. I grew up around boost with my brothers, my cousins, Mark, Ben, everybody, you know what I mean? Everyone's a boost guy. This car was just always fast for an all-motor setup, and then always had the nitrous setup on top of it, right? So, but now with the all-wheel drive, it's like, how big of a nitrous hit can I give this thing, right? Without hurting it. So, you guys let me know what you think once I start posting the videos of the new turbo setup. And if you guys know anybody, my sheepy belt header, it's for an H2B, but it has a collector down in the bottom. So if you wanted to put it in a straight H setup, you could honestly make a downpipe, and that's minor, right? So bring it to your local exhaust guy or whatever, and then you could have this badass sheepy header. So if you guys know anybody interested, just give me an inbox on Facebook, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So like I said, boys, like, subscribe, share, and then you'll see all kinds of more badass content. We're in Canada, so it's wintertime right now. Everybody's chilling. Everyone's building their toys. And then summertime, April, car show comes around, and then you'll see all kinds of stuff. Like, we have the biggest car shows in, I think, Atlantic Canada. So yeah, boys, I'll see you later.